Is Wolverine with the new Kitty Pryde synergy a clanger, or is it going to be a banger? And in this video we're going to be testing out some comparisons, whether or not it's going to be the Horseman synergy that still capsulates the best potential that Wolverine has, or without it it's going to be absolutely doggers. As a lot of you know, I'm a bit of a sucker when it comes to Wolverine. One of my favourite Marvel characters. I've got some of the very old comic books of him, and I just think that it's a great character overall. In Marvel Contest of Champions, not so much, unless there is the Horseman synergy involved with his play. The Horseman synergy, if you don't know already, is really helpful for any different champion that is a mutant champion, and in particular one that could benefit from a few different things. And that can be bleed resistance, the indefinite prowess that improves your special attack damage, unblockable, unstoppable, and plus 30% ability accuracy, which I think is going to be very helpful in this particular dissection and testing. The main thing I want to find out is with Kitty Pryde in the team creation. Like, as it says here, landing in a heavy attack converts all regeneration buffs into fury buffs, each increasing attack rating by 10% for 12 seconds. Now, that's the thing, on the face of it, doesn't really seem very much, but if you put it together with the Horseman synergy, it kind of do slap a little bit more. Not to say that a lot of people will break out their Wolverines for this, but there is better processes to, number one, get your Horseman synergy up quicker, and number two, slap a bit of damage with Kitty Pryde, knowing that Kitty Pryde in herself will do a lot of damage. So firstly, I decided to put together a team that didn't really utilise that much from Wolverine, but still seemed like on paper it will be good enough around this Kitty Pryde synergy, because that's what we're trying to test out here on the numbers scale. First of all, I've got Havoc in, which helps out with passively increasing attack by 20% of base attack while under the effect of regeneration. This is something that still is problematic because you're trying to convert those regenerations to furies. But there is some stuff to mention with this, and I'll be talking over the top of some footage in a minute of that in action to kind of say like why this synergy is good, but it also is not very good at the same time. Also, Metal Mayhem is in order to get 20% stronger bleeds and critical rating, in order to kind of, again, like with putting a bad synergy or good enough synergy on paper against one that is completely god tier. And then finally, we've got a little bit of attack improvements. So let's roll some footage and talk about the problems about this synergy and the good things about this synergy as the footage rolls. So on screen right now is just a little section of footage showcasing there's regeneration. You might be wondering why I'm hanging around a lot. The biggest problem at the moment with Marvel Contest of Champions is the enemy AI. I don't know if this is because it's on the content creator beta and it's just a little bit rubbish, but the length of time that regeneration on is a good indication as to why it's a problematic synergy. Essentially, you would need that regeneration to be on for longer, and there's very few synergies and very few pair-ups that give you any kind of extension of that regeneration time, which means it becomes a problem to go a parry heavy and rotate over. There I got very fortunate with that fury buff appearing because I was just randomly throwing heavy attacks, and that's something that I tested out as well. By randomly throwing heavy attacks, sometimes I would pick up those fury buffs. And I was finding that rotating around the SP2, even though by the SP3 standards you will, by the more, and based on the awakened ability, the more power you have, the more likely you are to get a regeneration. I think that's how it works. But then the problem is like you're not really damage outputting that much. So it still becomes a problem of, well, there's not really much potency with this. And there, I'm just kind of like randomly trying to kind of just look at the way this AI moves, and it's very irregular for AI at the moment. And I'm not alone, a lot of players experience the same thing currently. And even there, I got a dropped input, which is incredibly frustrating when it comes to playing this game. And that's the thing, dropped inputs just ruin the experience. So when it happens, it's just like, well, that's fun, isn't it? That's fun. But the main thing to really point out with this synergy is that with the one that I created, it just wasn't putting enough potency in. It's still not a great synergy because you are basically getting the thing that's good about Wolverine, which is the regenerations. So you need to try and amplify things that are your bleeds. So if you've got the Horseman synergy, you're then able to add a bit more to this because its potency will be better based on being a Horseman, as I hit my microphone, and more. And that more is the following synergy. It's adding in Professor Xavier, it's indeed adding in Apocalypse, but also Cable. The reason you're adding in Cable is because it increases the extent of genetic code that you've got to then, when you've got a fight, you win said fight, you then, boom, can hit in a Horseman synergy after the first fight. That is insane, and that is great, especially when we want to create a video like this, and especially for players as well. As Wolverine will pick up a 15% critical rate improvement, which is great. Also, with the Horseman synergy, which you've seen all those stats improvements, he will also get personal bleeds, have a chance to, based on critical rating, to be critical bleeds, dealing damage based on critical damage rating. So having like loads of elements improved for this champion is just so important. Also rotating around the idea of you getting those fury buffs, even though they don't last very long, they're also showing an amazing amount of potency when you're running non-suicide based champions like this. But I would say with the Horseman synergy, if you run suicide, you're going to have a great amount of damage with this. But yeah, let's just have a look at some footage, shall we? And here we go. So we have got ourselves, first of all, the Apocalypse change, and well, not change, but Apocalypse, as you can see, gone into the fight with a Cable synergy. It's given us the full genetic code. Then we've got the Horseman synergy clicked off and ready to go. Now before, I did total about 200 hits with the previous synergy, but you're going to see very quickly, I mean, first of all, we've got those 2 regenerations on. I then got a very well timed, very lucky there with that one, but it's going to amplify and it's going to improve damage potential, which I think is good. Get 2 very good heavy attacks, very clean ones there. Not that I really needed to do that, it's just handy if there was a regeneration effect at the time. Boom, there we go. Another Fury effect is now on. As I said, the synergy is all about showcasing that regeneration, converting into being a Fury buff. And there we go, another regeneration is on. And again, this is all about that offensive, this is all about this ability accuracy that the Horseman synergy gives. If you miss that, then man, that's the stats that you need to take very good care and attention to. Our ability accuracy is massively improved. This improves the extent of regeneration you're going to see compared with what we saw last time, compared with what we saw this time. I'm rotating around an SP2 because that's what I want to do. SP3, I don't know if I overly agree with doing, because we want to ramp up critical bleed and bleeds in general. But still, like this is really nice. This is incredible. If I had Suicide Masteries, I can imagine I would have got this down to at least 50 to 60 hits. But for the sake of you know, this video, I'm running non-suicide. Maybe that will change at a later date. But you can just see the damage potential is just absolutely amazing. There's critical bleeds, good timing with things, and as well having that regeneration converted to a Fury buff is just seeing some great stuff. So this is all amazing things, and all I can really say is like I'm thoroughly impressed by what I've seen with the synergy, with Kitty Pryde, with Professor Xavier, with Cable and Apocalypse. That all those synergies mushed together give some massive potency damage potential for this. And if you're thinking about running this team, then hey, good team to run. Even better with Suicide Masteries, but that would limit some things with some other champions in that particular grouping. But exceptions would be Cable and Apocalypse. I think you'd be able to do some stuff with Kitty Pryde, but still, man, amazing to see. But what are your thoughts on this synergy? Put it in the comment section down below. Now, I had a hell of a lot of fun testing this out, and yeah, it's a very interesting synergy. Appreciate you all for watching this video. Make sure as well to check out some other content located on screen right now. Also check out the center where we've got Rich's Revolution, which is my Marvel Future Revolution channel, and possibly Marvel Realm of Champions. I may return to it at a later date, I don't know. But yeah, check out that other channel. Check out some content recently posted on Marvel Contest of Champions stuff, and I'll see you all very soon. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.